Thanks for organizing this program. I hope you can hear me as well as uh, see the screen. I'm just sharing my screen. Is it fine?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Yeah, fine. So, I'm really happy to do this session because, once upon a time I was with NIT Trichy for 3 years. So I always feel proud as well as love to teach something at NIT campus. Since it is happening through online mode, so we're not able to see the campus. So really, badly I'm missing the campus environment. Anyway, that's fine. So today, what I'm going to do is maybe for next to 1 hour, 15 minutes, I'll share some thoughts related to technology in education. So that is what I'm going to do. So before I start the session, the core component, I just want to hear something from the audience related to major problems in our education system. So whatever may be the problems you are feeling, you try to share everything using this particular link. Let me post this link in the chat window. Um, just a minute. Please click this link and then you will get this window, major problems in our education system. So this is the heading. You can type 3 words. You can give your views for a maximum of 3 points. So I just want to hear something from your side. After that, I'll get into the course session. So you please click this link. Once again, I'm posting it in the chat window. So you please click this link and then you just start entering the word, whatever you feel, and that could be the problem which we are facing right now. It can be anything. It can be anything. You just, post it in this voting window. So we'll see like how many of them are posting and then what kind of what kind of points they are sharing. Just click this link. After that, you will be directed to your page, something similar to this. There you can start typing the word, whatever may be the words you feel. Okay, these are the problems right now we are facing, at our hand. So you just post it in the chat window. Whether I'm audible to everyone?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Now only I'm getting the points. Yeah. Practical orientation, testing only the memory. I like this point. I'll also address some of the issues related to this testing the memory project, and then college industry gap. Okay, syllabus, practical exposure, content availability. Yeah, anything else? So far, only 2 of them have responded. 3. Practical exposure, content availability, syllabus, use of proper technology. Since this session is related to technology, I think you are sharing something about technology. Anyway, that's fine. And then less industry interaction, testing only the memory. Okay. Lack of quality, lack of motivation. Exam oriented inconsistency. Students are not interested. Okay. Lack of motivation, exam oriented. Yeah, any other perspectives? No, I'm expecting one of the major drawback of our system. So I don't know whether you are able to identify that particular drawback or not. So that is what I'm trying to expect. So I'll highlight the problem and then I'll also give you some solution how we can overcome that particular problem. That is the major problem right now we are facing, not only in our education system, across the globe, this is the problem we are facing. So I'm expecting something more. So far we have received the responses from 10 participants. Let me check how many of them are available in this meeting. There are about 65 participants are available. Yeah, lack of motivation. I got 12. Exam oriented. Again, lack of motivation. So, I mean, I just created a word cloud. So wherever you, you are giving multiple answers for the same point. So that will be reflected in a bigger font. So there's a logic of understanding the simple word cloud. So 13, totally I have received the responses from 13 participants. So what happened to others? So this is also one of the problem in online education. So often we feel that students are attentive in the online meeting window. I mean, in this case, participants, but I don't think so. Like they are attentive. This is also another problem. This also you can highlight it here. Yeah. Anything else? Technical difficulty. Yeah. So far, I have received responses from 15. Same syllabus for all. No real implementation. Okay. Appropriate use of resources. College industry gap. Okay. So lack of motivation is dominating the entire word cloud slide. Exam oriented. Okay. Then anything else? Testing only the memory. No real implementation. Resource utilization. Yeah. Anything else? If you are done, I can move on to the next part. So that's the reason repeatedly I'm asking. So far, I have received responses from 17 participants. So at least spoon feeding, okay. You can also post this comment in the voting window anyway. That's fine. Communication tools. Yeah. Anything else? 18 responses. You can consider this particular way of, getting the response as a, attendance taking mechanism. So I can understand that only 18 of them are really attentive. Others may be having some technical issue. I completely agree with, I mean, agree with that. But anyway, yeah. Okay, anyway, that's fine. So I'm not getting the expected answer. So let me move on to the next part. So whatever may be the problems which you have highlighted here, yes, all those problems are existing in our system also. So we don't have any a single solution or maybe a kind of common solution to tackle all those problems. But for each and every problem, we require, different approaches or maybe different solutions. So now the expected answer is something else. Let me ask some more questions here. So you can also post it in the chat window for this question also. So personally, I feel that there are a lot of individual differences that are existing in terms of students' learning process. So I'm just asking this question. I hope everyone is doing some teaching job in your institution, maybe college or maybe university, or it can be anything. Can you remember your UG, PG, or PG class strength? If you are able to remember your class strength, you can post it in the chat window. Can you remember your UG or PG class strength? 60. Dr. Ronnie Gujari, thank you. Thanks for your posting. Yeah, anybody else? 63, 60, 30, 60, 49. Nice, really nice. Can you remember the gender ratio of your class? Suppose if you are taking the class for 60 students, so what is the gender ratio? Like how many female and then how many male students are sitting in your class? Any idea? Able to remember that? 1049, okay. 2040, 1 is to 2, 40 20, 570, okay. Can you remember the name of the students, those who are sitting in your class? If you are able to remember, how many names you can remember out of 60? Not all, okay. How many? Maximum, maximum. You just mentioned the maximum numbers. 30, some people are saying 30, 50, 22, 25, 50. Maximum 25 to 30, okay. So I can ask one more question. So probably you can also give your agreement or disagreement. So out of 60 names, nobody is saying, no, sir, I can remember almost all of my student names. So nobody is saying yes, right, for this question. No, remembering roll number is something different. Remembering roll number is something different. But even if that particular roll number is considered as an identity for one of the student, that's also fine. Okay, now I'm asking one more question. I hope some of the professors, those who are attending this program, they're also doing the guiding process. I mean, PhD or maybe MPhil guidance. Can you remember your PhD scholar names? Yes, we say 100% yes. Even me too. Their area of research? Yes. Their current progress? Yes. So with respect to the second component, most of them are saying yes, yes, yes only. But for the first component, partial yes, partial no, and in some cases, no. Suppose if you are working in a typical North Indian or maybe centrally funded institutes, so there you will get the students across India, and remembering all of their names are really difficult. Suppose if you are working in one of the state university or maybe state college or state funded institution, I mean, remembering the names is somewhat easier than remembering the national level or maybe international level class strength as well as their names and so on. But with respect to PhD or maybe MPhil guidance, yes, we can remember all of our scholars' name, their area of interest, and then their current progress, how many papers they have published, how many conferences they have attended, everything you can remember easily. Now, with respect to first context and second context, what is missing here? With respect to first context and then second context, what is missing here? Any guess? Any response? Reason is more interaction with the PhD student. Number, okay, I agree with you, Dr. Ashwin. Sudhir Kumar sir also saying that number, yeah. Here the numbers are less, there the numbers are very high. Quantity, sense of responsibility, okay. Yeah, anything else? Anything else? Accountability, okay. Then anything else? Focus, okay. Keeping in touch. Yes, this is the answer I was expecting. Professor Vaishali, yes, this is the answer I'm expecting. So what is missing here is something referred as personalized learning. Have you heard about this concept called personalized learning? Have you heard about this concept called personalized learning? Yes. So what is that? So with respect to PhD scholar interaction, you can also remember like one-on-one interaction is happening, whatever may be the knowledge transfer you are trying to impart towards your PhD scholars or maybe MPhil scholar. So there is a one-on-one interaction is happening. So I just want to show you, no, what I'm trying to conclude here is, this is what missing almost all of the universities across the globe. So this is one of the major problem. I expected people might be saying that, sir, I'm not meeting my students since everything is happening through online mode and I'm sitting at my home and then I'm speaking in front of the system. So I expected some more answers during that online poll, live poll, but I didn't got anything related to that particular aspect. But I mean, in the recent past, this is what the one of the major a reason given by most of the scholars as well as professors wherever I'm taking this kind of sessions, I mean, related to education. But this is one of the globally cited problem, or still this problem existing in the common population. And now my question is, how do we address this problem? That's the first question I'm asking. Before that, let me show you one more evidence. So this paper was published in the year of 1984. So the title of the paper is The Two Sigma Problem, the Search for Methods of Group Instruction as Effective as One-to-One Tutoring. Educational researcher 136, I mean, the page number 4 to 16. So the author of this paper is Benjamin Bloom. Benjamin S. Bloom. I mean, the one who has developed the Bloom's taxonomy. So he was the author. So if you look at this particular graph, I mean, this particular picture, basically it's an experimentation. I mean, experimental study. So what they have found is, I mean, finally, so one point of time they have considered one teacher for 30 students, and they did everything using the conventional teaching and learning method. I mean, using conventional learning and teaching approach, they just I mean covered the lesson. And finally, they also evaluated their performance. I mean, they have assessed their students' performance, and their graph was something like this, normal distribution, something like this. And then they have introduced a new concept called mastery learning. Mastery learning is also another approach where there also for 30 students, they have allocated only one lecturer or maybe only one teacher. And they did, I mean, formative assessments, and they did some formative assessment. Continuously, they have imparted some learning to the, I mean, to the students. At the same time, they also did some continuous assessment. And at the end of every assessment, even they have given some feedback, I mean, one-on-one feedback to the students and so on. So, and a lot of group-based activities were instituted, part of this particular mastery learning. And that point of time, if you look at the learning level of, I mean, learning curve of the student, something that is looking similar to this pattern. And then in the third experiment, what they have done is they have introduced a concept called tutorial concept, where one-on-one interaction were initiated. And at the end of the day, I mean, after assessing the student performance, they could able to get this kind of curve. They could able to get this kind of curve. So basically what we are trying to understand here is, so the learning curve is, I mean, the learning rate, or maybe the learning growth curve, or growth curve rate, or maybe the learning level is really high in the case of tutorial type of teaching, or maybe tutorial type of delivering the content, when compared with the mastery learning as well as conventional learning. So that is the conclusion given in this paper. For more details, you can also have a look. Still, this paper is available. Already have shared this paper through email. Probably Jagan will share the papers to you. So you can also have a look. So based on this paper, what they have concluded is, I mean, having one-on-one teaching and learning process will impact or will increase a lot of learning. I mean, that will increase the students' learning outcome, or maybe learning rate. So that is the conclusion given in this paper. But when you want to implement this one-on-one tutorial concept, or maybe one-on-one logic, it's really difficult. Not only for India, even for the, I mean, global level institutions, or maybe whatever, maybe the universities existing across the globe. So how do we solve this problem? So according to All India Survey on Higher Education, I mean, survey in higher education, 2016 report says that there are about 799 universities are available in India, and 39,071 colleges are functioning, I mean, at present in India. And then 11,923 standalone institutions are available. And then total enrollment in higher education has been estimated to be 34.6 million. 34.6 million. Do we have 34.6 million teachers with us? That's a big question mark. The same context is applicable to whether it is US or UK, or maybe China, or it can be anything, Japan or Singapore, or it can be anything. Keeping a teacher for each and every student is really difficult task. We may not be able to solve this particular problem with the help of any of the existing approaches which we are using right now. Make sense to you? Agree or disagreement? Do you have any solution for solving this problem? If you have any solution, probably you can post it in the chat window. Do you have any solution? Able to understand where I am trying to lead this session? No response. Do you know the class strength of some of the reputed universities functioning in India as well as across the globe? For example, in Australia, in Monash University, there are courses where the student strength is close to 700. The student strength is close to 700. Even in Harvard, even in MIT also, Yes, per class strength only I'm saying. I'm not saying the total university strength or total department strength. No, I'm not saying that. For course strength, I'm saying there are some elective courses, there are some cases where the strength is close to 700 or 800. Even there are courses with 1500 as a strength also. How they are managing, those kind of courses. So what they are doing is they are splitting the entire 700 batch size into different components. For each group, I mean, they are dividing the entire 700 into multiple groups. In each group, they might be having 35 or 40 students, and they are appointing one of the TA, that is teaching assistant. Teaching assistant. Teaching assistant role is solving the questions or maybe concerns raised by this 40 students. If something is not resolved by the TA, means this question will goes to the professor basically, and professor will conduct the common classes in a big auditorium or bigger auditorium. So that's how the classes are happening. Even in our university also, there are cases we do have a concept called foundation course. In some of the courses, we used to get 180 students as a class strength. In some cases, even 250 as a class strength. Even there are classes that is happening. Even in NIT Trichy also, if you go and see the engineering department classes, I think the maximum strength is 120. So for 120 students, they are teaching the content. And if you ask the professor, really, honestly speaking, this is with respect to my case, I could not able to remember, I mean, not more than 20 or 30 students' names actually, whatever maybe the classes which I took part of the engineering students or maybe MBA students. This is a practical, viewpoint I'm sharing here. So that one-on-one tutorial logic is practically impossible. But with the help of something, we can solve this issue. What is that something? Can you pick that something word? Yes, we can solve it with the help of something. What is that? TFM separately. Okay, Dr. Kirti, TS are like research scholars or maybe specifically recruited for teaching assistant purpose, not from the students' side. Technology, yes, this is the answer I'm expecting. With the help of technology, yes, somehow we can achieve this. Somehow we can achieve this. So if you look at the second slide, I mean, this slide is something related to understanding the history of technology in education. So if you see the revolution of different technologies used in education. So one of the initial innovation, even now we are strongly relying on that particular invention. That is nothing but printed books. And then the next level we had blackboard, and then next level we had lead pencils, and then film strip projector, and then we had radio, and then we have we had overhead projector technology, and then typewriter, television, teaching machines, and programmed instructions. Like in IIT Bombay, how they are giving the spoken tutorial, something similar to this. And then computers, and then we had learning management system. Even now also we are using a lot of learning management system technologies. And then we had internet, and then the cloud technology. So what is the next revolution? In the next slide, I'll show you that. So if you see the next slide content, we can solve some of the personalized learning related problems with the help of technology. Yes. So whatever may be the technologies associated with solving that particular problem, I just highlighted some of the technologies here. Now, the first technology which we can say is, which we can discuss is MOOC, that is massive open online classes. Now we'll have some online courses actually, not classes. Now we'll have some discussion about understanding this particular component. I just want to play a video here. Uh, um, I just want to play a video. Just a minute. Have you heard about this? Person before coming to this session? Anand Agarwal. His name is Anand Agarwal. Able to hear the voice? Able to hear the music? And somebody responded in the chat window. Okay,
I'd
thank
like
you.
to reimagine education.
So Anand Agarwal is a professor at MIT and who is the CEO of edX platform, edx platform. So we'll discuss more about this video. Please pause this video for next 10 minutes.
Last year has seen the invention of a new four-letter word. It starts with an M, MOOC, massive open online courses. Many organizations are offering I'd like to reimagine education. The last year has seen the invention of a new four-letter word. It starts with an M, MOOC, massive open online courses. Many organizations are offering these online courses to students all over the world in the millions for free. Anybody who has an internet connection and the will to learn can access these great courses from excellent universities and get a credential at the end of it. Now, in this discussion today, I'm going to focus on a different aspect of MOOCs. We are taking what we're learning and the technologies we are developing in the large and applying them in the small to create a blended model of education to really reinvent and reimagine what we do in the classroom. Now, our classrooms could use change. So here's a classroom at this little three-letter institute in the northeast of America, MIT. And this was a classroom about 50, 60 years ago, and this is a classroom today. What's changed? The seats are in color. Whoop-de-doo. Education really hasn't changed in the past 500 years. I mean, the last big innovation in education was the printing press and the textbooks. Everything else has changed around us. From healthcare to transportation, everything is different, but education hasn't changed. It's also been a real issue in terms of access. So what you see here is not a rock concert. And the person you see at the end of the stage is not Madonna. This is a classroom at the Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria. Now, we've all heard of distance education. But the students way in the back, 200 feet away from the instructor, I think they're undergoing long-distance education. Now, I really believe that we can transform education both in quality and scale and access through technology. For example, at edX, we are trying to transform education through online technologies. Given education has been calcified for 500 years, we really cannot think about re-engineering it, micromanaging it. We really have to completely reimagine it. It's like going from ox carts to the airplane. Even the infrastructure has to change. Everything has to change. We need to go from lectures on the blackboard to online exercises, online videos. We have to go to interactive virtual laboratories and gamification. We have to go to completely online grading and peer interaction on discussion boards. Everything really has to change. So at edX and a number of other organizations, we are applying these technologies to education through MOOCs to really increase access to education. And you heard of this example where when we launched our very first course, and this was an MIT Hard Circuit and Electronics course about a year and a half ago, 155,000 students from 162 countries enrolled in this course. And we had no marketing budget. Now, 155,000 is a big number. This number is bigger than the total number of alumni of MIT in its 150-year history. 7,200 students passed the course, and this was a hard course. 7,200 is also a big number. If I were to teach at MIT 2 semesters every year, I would have to teach for 40 years before I could teach this many students. Now, these large numbers are just one part of the story. So today, I'm going to discuss a different aspect, the other side of MOOCs, take a different perspective. We are taking what we develop and learn in the large and apply it in the small to the classroom to create a blended model of learning. But before I go into that, let me tell you a story. When my daughter turned 13, became a teenager, she stopped speaking English. She began speaking this new language. I call it Teenlish. It's a digital language. It's got two sounds, a grunt and a silence. Honey, come over for dinner. Did you hear me? Silence. Can you listen to me? So we had a real issue with communicating, and we were just not communicating. Until one day I had this epiphany. I texted her. I got an instant response. I said, no, that must have been by accident. She must have thought, it's some friend of hers calling her. So I texted her again. Boom, another response. I said, this is great. And so since then, our life has changed. I text her, she responds. It's just been absolutely great. So our millennial generation is built differently. Now, I'm older. I mean, my youthful looks might belie that, but I'm not in the I'm not in the millennial generation. But our kids are really different. The millennial generation is completely comfortable with online technology. So why are we fighting it in the classroom? Let's not fight it. Let's embrace it. In fact, I believe, I have two fat thumbs. I can't text very well. But I'm willing to bet that with evolution, our kids and their grandchildren will develop really, really little itty-bitty thumbs to text much better. The evolution will fix all of that stuff. But so why don't we embrace technology, embrace the millennial generations, natural predilections, and really think about creating these online technologies, blend them into their lives. So here's what we can do. So rather than driving our kids into a classroom, herding them out there at 8 o'clock in the morning, I hated going to class at 8 o'clock in the morning. So why are we forcing our kids to do that? So instead what you do is you have them watch videos and do interactive exercises in the comfort of their dorm rooms, in their bedroom, in the dining room, in the bathroom, wherever they're most creative. Then they come into the classroom for some in-person interaction. They can have discussions among themselves, they can solve problems together, they can work with the professor and have the professor answer their questions. In fact, with edX, when we were teaching our first course on circuits and electronics around the world, this was happening unbeknownst to us. Two high school teachers at the Sant High School in Mongolia had flipped the classroom, and they were using our video lectures and interactive exercises where the learners in the high school, 15-year-olds, mind you, would go and do these things in their own homes, and they would come into class, and as you see from this image here, they would interact with each other and do some physical laboratory work. And the only way we discovered this was they wrote a blog, and we happened to stumble upon that blog. We're also doing other pilots. So we did a pilot experimental blended course working with San Jose State University in California. Again, with the circuits and electronics course. You'll hear that a lot. That course has become sort of like our petri dish of learning. So there the students would, the instructors flipped the classroom, blended online and in person, and the results were staggering. Now, don't take these results to the bank just yet. Just wait a little bit longer as we experiment with this some more, but the early results are incredible. So traditionally, semester upon semester for the past several years, this course, again, a hard course, had a failure rate of about 40 to 41% every semester. With this blended class late last year, the failure rate fell to 9%. So the results can be extremely, extremely good. Now, before we go too far into this, I'd like to spend some time discussing some key ideas. What are some key ideas that makes all of this work? One idea is active learning. The idea here is rather than have students walk into class, watch lectures, we replace this with what we call lessons. Lessons are interleaved sequences of videos and interactive exercises. So a student might watch a 5-7 minute video and follow that with an interactive exercise. Think of this as the ultimate Socratization of education. You teach by asking questions. And this is a form of learning called active learning, and really promoted by a very early paper in 1972 by Craig and Lockhart, where they said and discovered that learning and retention really relate strongly to the depth of mental processing. Students learn much better when they are interacting with the material. The second idea is self-pacing. Now, when I went to a lecture hall, and if you were like me, by the 5th minute, I would lose the professor. I wasn't all that smart, and I would be scrambling, taking notes, and then I would lose the lecturer for the rest of the hour. Instead, wouldn't it be nice with online technologies, we offer videos and interactive engagements to students? They can hit the pause button. They can rewind the professor. Heck, they can even mute the professor. So this form of self-pacing can be very helpful to learning. The third idea that we have is instant feedback. With instant feedback, the computer grades exercises. I mean, how else do you teach 150,000 students? Your computer is grading all the exercises. And we've all submitted homeworks, and your grades come back 2 weeks later. You've forgotten all about it. I don't think I've still received some of my homeworks from my undergraduate days. Someone never graded. So with instant feedback, students can try to apply answers. If they get it wrong, they can get instant feedback. They can try it again and try it again. And this really becomes much more engaging. They get the instant feedback. And this little green check mark that you see here is becoming somewhat of a cult symbol at edX. Learners are telling us that they go to bed at night dreaming of the green check mark. In fact, one of our learners who took the circuits course early last year, he then went on to take a software course from Berkeley at the end of the year. And this is what the learner had to say on our discussion board when he just started that course about the green check mark. Oh God, have I missed you. When's the last time you've seen students posting comments like this about homework? My colleague Ed Berchinger, who heads up the physics department at MIT, has this to say about instant feedback. He indicated that instant feedback turns teaching moments into learning outcomes. The next big idea is gamification. All learners engage really well with interactive videos and so on. They would sit down and shoot alien spaceships all day long till they get it. So we apply these gamification techniques to learning. And we can build these online laboratories. How do you teach creativity? How do you teach design? We can do this through online labs and use computing power to build these online labs. So as this little video shows here, you can engage students much like they design with Legos. So here the learners are building a circuit with Lego-like ease. And this can also be graded by the computer. Fifth is peer learning. So here we use discussion forums and discussions and Facebook-like interaction not as a distraction, but to really help students learn. Let me tell you a story. When we did our circuits course with the 155,000 students, I didn't sleep for 3 nights leading up to the launch of the course. I told my TAs, okay, 7 by 24, we're going to be up monitoring the forum, answering questions. I had answered questions for 100 students. How do you do that for 150,000? So one night, I'm sitting up there, 2 a.m. at night, and I think there was this question from a student from Pakistan. And he asked a question, and I said, okay, let me go type up an answer. I don't type all that fast, and I begin typing up the answer. And before I can finish, another student from Egypt popped in with an answer. Not quite right, so I'm fixing the answer. And before I can finish, a student from the US had popped in with a different answer. And then I sat back fascinated. Boom, 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 boom. The students were discussing and interacting with each other. And by 4 a.m. that night, I'm totally fascinated, having this epiphany. By 4 a.m. in the morning, they had discovered the right answer. And all I had to do was go and bless it, good answer. So this is absolutely amazing, where students are learning from each other, and they're telling us that they are learning by teaching. Now, this is all just not in the future. This is happening today. So we are applying these blended learning pilots in a number of universities and high schools around the world, from Tsinghua in China to the National University of Mongolia to Berkeley in California, all over the world. And these kinds of technologies really help. The blended model can really help revolutionize education. It can also solve a practical problem of MOOCs, the business aspect. We can also license these MOOC courses to other universities. And therein lies a revenue model for MOOCs, where the university that licenses it with the professor can use these online courses like the next generation textbook. They can use as much or as little as they like. It becomes a tool in the teacher's arsenal. Finally, I would like to have you dream with me for a little bit. I would like us to really reimagine education. We will have to move from lecture halls to e-spaces. We have to move from books to tablets like the Akash in India, or the Raspberry Pi, the $20. The Akash is $40. We have to move from bricks and mortar school buildings to digital dormitories. But I think at the end of the day, I think we will still need one lecture hall in our universities. Otherwise, how else do we tell our grandchildren that, your grandparents sat in that room in neat little rows like corn stalks and watched this professor at the end, talk about content, and you didn't even have a rewind button. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, was unmuted. Yeah, muted now. Yeah. I hope you got some insightful information from this particular TED Talk video. Don't think that this video was done in the recent past. No, it's almost 5 to 6 years old video. So now my, question is, so can you share your views or maybe thought process with respect to how we can solve this personalized learning problem with the help of this technology? The technology which I'm quoting here is MOOC technology. Can you
So
post?
Dr.
Yeah.
Can we speak?
Yes, you can speak. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I'm Dr. Kirti from Pune.
Yes, ma'am.
MOOCs is used as a blended technology because in the management that we are presently using it,
Yeah.
maybe that certain external courses which may not cover the complete syllabus under MOOCs, but there are certain in-house courses, or you can say certain internal subjects which are available in MOOCs. What we are doing at our end, we are giving students, because sometimes MOOC courses are paid.
Yeah.
So if suppose the students are not able to get the benefit every time by paying for exam and everything, what we are doing is we tell them that the content you should read from MOOCs and the evaluation process we do in-house. So
Okay.
so it helps the students to get the knowledge, and the evaluation pattern gives the faculty also that whatever the content uploaded in MOOCs, they also get blended knowledge of it, and faculty combinedly design the evaluation process. So both technology and in-house sessions are combined together, and the students' evaluation is done, and the purpose of student using the technology automatically gets solved.
Yes, very true. So the core idea or core point which I'm trying to propose here with respect to solving that one-on-one interaction problem is, so with the help of MOOC, you can also flip your class. You can also go for blended learning. And then with the help of the pre-recorded video lectures, whether you are borrowing the lecture videos from other sources or maybe you yourself creating the video, it doesn't matter. So with the help of that, as Professor Anand Agarwal also mentioned during his TED Talk presentation, so they can also pause the video. For example, one more important point which we need to understand ourselves is, we are addressing some 60 plus students in a class, and we are not altering our phase of teaching, our method of communication, or maybe the way of delivering the content, depending upon the student learning nature. What I'm referring here, student learning nature is, for example, some of the students, especially those who are sitting in the first bench, they can pick up the concept within a fraction of a second. They don't need additional explanation. They don't need any repetition. But the people, those who are sitting at the back or maybe in the middle of the class, they may require some one or two, rounds of additional explanation. And some people, they might be, requiring more than 2 rounds of explanation or 3 rounds of explanation. But are we addressing all those gaps during our presentation? No, we are not. Personally, I feel that no, I'm not doing that. So now with the help of this MOOC platform, with the help of pre-recorded video lectures, we can also flip the class. We can also provide them some, personalized materials, whatever may be the materials we want to circulate it with our students, we can also do that. If you are able to identify some of the advanced learners, you give them some journal papers where they can get some advanced knowledge about that particular course content or maybe that particular topic. And for average students, you give average as well as the below average students, you give them some exercises which they can achieve at their level of credibility or maybe capability. So like that, we can also customize our entire course. That is possible. That is possible with the help of this MOOC course content. That is what I'm trying to convey here. At present, I'm teaching a course called Principles of Management, and currently the same course is available in Swayam platform offered by IIT Kharagpur people. Two of the professors from IIT Kharagpur, they are delivering that particular course content. Now, even I got a written permission from NPTEL for using or utilizing some of their materials in my class. So what I'm trying to do is I'm also supplementing videos from my side, as well as wherever I feel that, okay, these videos are also really good enough in terms of covering my syllabus. I'm integrating all those videos into my LMS platform. And then on the top of it, I'm also bringing some case studies for live interaction. And one more session given in our universities, especially for this online teaching. So, I mean, you try to reduce your live interaction with your students because they are getting skin fatigueness. And because of that reason, both the sides, our stress level is also increased. So that's the reason now what we are trying to do is we are trying to blend our online teaching basically with the help of giving some of the pre-recorded lectures. As Dr. Kirti ma'am also mentioned something about their experience, so the same practice can be implemented across the universities in India. With the help of that, yes, we can solve certain issues related to personalized learning. So in what way here we are solving the personalized learning is, so with the help of that video, they can also rewind the video lecture. They can also pause the video lecture. They can go back and read some of the related content in terms of understanding that particular, slide that was shown or projected in the video lecture. Then again they can play back the video, and then further they can also read some other content to learn certain things that is coming out of that particular course. So through this way, yes, we can solve this particular problem called personalized learning. And then the second solution which I'm proposing here is, have you heard about ebooks? I hope all of them are having good idea about ebooks. So in most of the cases, ebook is nothing but whatever may be the printed copies that is available in the market, the same version is converted in the form of a PDF, and then that was uploaded in some of the commercial platforms where you can also buy the Kindle version, or you can subscribe to your university. They may provide some 10 e-copies or 15 e-copies. Through online basis, you can also share all those books with your students or with your learners. That is possible. But you have one more concept called digital ebooks or interactive ebooks. Have you heard about this concept called interactive ebooks? Any idea about interactive ebooks? And before I getting into this part, I want to highlight one of the major limitation of using this MOOC courses also. For example, if you want to get a certificate from any of the Coursera courses or maybe edX courses, without learning the content also, you will be able to obtain the certificate. I have the citation. In one of the TED talk, I think a person named Naiman, I can also try to locate that person name. So one of the popular course in one of the popular course in Coursera is machine learning. And the person I was referring here, he has attended the entire course without learning anything, and he has secured, I think, 85% mark from the same course, machine learning course. Based on that reference only, I'm trying to say this. I'll try to refer that. I'll try to locate that course. I think that is not from Coursera. That is from something else. So I'll try to locate that course and then I'll give it to you. I'll send the link. Maybe organizer can post it in the chat window. So what I'm trying to convey here is you can overcome these kind of issues with the help of digital books or maybe interactive ebooks. So I just want to play this video, just look at this video to understand or to get some idea about interactive or maybe ebooks.
When Benchmark Education offers more than 3,500 interactive ebooks for you and your students. These literary and informational texts are precisely leveled and are built with tools that enhance and extend learning so that your students experience a deep and rich encounter with reading. Your students are provided with tools to actively engage with the text. As students read, they can write notes in the margins of each page, helping to increase comprehension and build the reading-writing connection. There are also built-in annotation tools, such as the highlighter, which can be used to locate text evidence, a pen for freehand annotations, and shapes to draw lines, circles, and boxes around text. Every interactive ebook from Benchmark Education includes audio. The text is highlighted as it is read aloud for the student.
Close your eyes and picture the most beautiful photograph you have ever seen. Can you come up with just one?
Students can also place sticky notes at point of use on the page. These can be color-coded for instructional purposes. Teachers often like to use sticky notes to differentiate instruction. They can leave prompts or scaffolds inside an ebook for their students. They can choose to do this for individual students, groups of students, or even the entire class. Teachers can create and customize their own pages within the book. They can embed videos to extend learning beyond print. Create and post graphic organizers for students to complete within the book. As students and teachers make their annotations and customizations, everything is saved to their own accounts, which are available from school or home, anytime, anywhere, and from any device. There are no apps or plugins to install and constantly update. Simply log in and everything works. Benchmark Education's interactive ebooks are a powerful...
No, here I'm not trying to, provide any commercial advertisement for the particular Benchmark Education. So I was looking for some shorter video from YouTube sources, so I could able to get this video. So finally, what I'm trying to convey here is, even we can overcome some of the challenges or issues with respect to pre-recorded video lectures with the help of, that can be replaced with the help of digital ebooks. And even we can also integrate some of the other concepts like virtual reality, augmented reality, and then AI concepts, artificial intelligence concepts into your interactive ebooks. And then your interactive ebooks can go as a LMS platform, basically. So there itself, if you want to keep some of your pre-recorded video lectures, you just put it in YouTube and then you share the link in the form of a digital ebook. Wherever they want to get more explanation about certain equations or maybe certain concepts, your students can watch your videos. And then wherever they want to mark something, even you can also embed a quiz with the help of other using some of the external platform services. So in simple sense, interactive ebook can go as a LMS platform, or can go as a separate book, or can go as a separate course to your students. And with the help of that, you can also ensure better learning outcomes among the students. That is possible, very much possible. I'm not saying this based on some of the literature evidence as well as some of the research evidences. I'm trying to say this particular point. So any agreement or disagreement, able to understand what I'm trying to say here? So these are some of the bits and pieces of technology solutions for solving that particular personalized learning problem. But even everything can be integrated into a single component. That is also possible. Maybe in the near future, we may get some solution, some kind of complex solution where almost all of the learning related issues may be solved in a single technology or maybe in a single solution. Yeah, any agreement or disagreement related to this particular argument? Anything from the participant side? No, either you can post it in the chat window or you can, yeah, no. Okay, fine. Yeah. So the next concept which I'm going to introduce here is something called full immersive reality or virtual reality. Any idea about virtual reality? So there are two big things that is going to redefine our education sector. One is virtual reality, and then second one is gamification. These are the two major technologies that is going to advance our learning and teaching practices. So you try to get some more understanding about how you can also embed virtual reality concept in your regular courses. There are some free platforms are available, but yes, we are not having enough technical equipments in terms of integrating this virtual reality in our courses or maybe classes. Even Moodle also, Moodle is one of the LMS platform. Recently, they have embedded virtual reality concept. I mean, they have integrated virtual reality concept into the LMS platform. In near future, we are going to get a lot more benefits from Moodle platform, basically. I think somebody's mic is on. Kindly mute your mic. Yeah, Triveni, are you asking the question? Question, or you are sharing your views? Okay, anyway, we'll have some discussion about this virtual reality. There are three forms of realities are available. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your views. So one is non-immersive reality, and then full immersive reality, and then augmented reality, and then you have one more reality called mixed reality. So mixing augmented with the virtual reality is nothing but mixed reality. And then you have non-immersive reality. Non-immersive reality is nothing but, for example, sitting in front of your computer or maybe sitting in front of LED screen and then trying to see the 360-degree visualization of a particular image or maybe particular component. That is nothing but non-immersive reality. In virtual reality, what will happen is you will be able to, visualize, or maybe you will be able to get that particular experience with the help of the virtual reality equipment. So I just want to play this particular video. You just look at this video. These are all short videos only, 2 minutes or 3 minutes videos only. And again, I'm making one more disclaimer statement. The video credit goes to the video production team from Virtual Reality in Education. It's a business organization, basically. Again, I'm not making any marketing for them. So just to showcase how virtual reality can play a major role in our education, I'm just trying to play this video here. Just look at this video. So here they have embedded a lot of things into a single concept, basically. general some of the examples to understand how virtual reality can play a major role in education, especially if you look at medical education. So they don't have the practical scenarios in front of them in terms of explaining any of the complex concepts. So if that is the case, what they can do is they can also make use of this virtual reality. I'm not saying that it's already happening in some of the US universities. Already they have, especially in Indiana University, they have implemented this particular logic in terms of teaching certain concepts to the nurses and so on. For example, even to teach some of the surgeries, I mean, really complex surgeries, they're using virtual reality equipments, and then they're asking the students to perform the surgery in front of the camera. So that is also happening. This is one of the big thing. I can say that this is going to completely dominate our education sector in the near future. Even now itself, in most of the reputed universities, already they are practicing, as well as they are doing a lot of experiments in terms of assessing the learning intention, or maybe learning growth rate of the kids when they apply this concept called virtual reality in their classroom practices. So this is also another big thing that is going to dominate our education sector. And then the next major thing which you can also understand is augmented reality. Again, this augmented reality can be integrated with interactive ebooks also. So basically, they can have a printed version of the ebooks. At the same time, there will be a pre-installed mobile app. With the help of that particular app, they can also scan some of the images that is there in the printed ebooks, and whatever may be the images they are seeing, they'll be able to get the 360 angle visualization. Even in some cases, they can also project some of the videos related to that particular image or that particular concept. That is also possible. Just look at this particular short video. I think some 0.45-second video. You'll get more clarity about what I'm speaking here. Sorry, 1 minute 20-second video. It's actual printed textbook. So this is how it will look like in your tablet or maybe mobile phone with the help of augmented reality. So these are, different mobile apps already that is available in Play Store also. But there are so many mobile apps as well as so many pre-installed equipments also available in the market in terms of using this particular concept called augmented reality. Straight away, we can start with augmented reality. Slowly, we can also go for interactive ebooks. So one of the difficulty in terms of implementing this interactive ebook is from the publisher side, they need to create the interactive ebooks with the help of the author support. Then after that, probably you can get the login credentials. You can procure those books, and then with the help of that, you can also consider that as a LMS platform. Within the book, you can do whatever you want to do. Whether you want to upload the video, whether you want to share the quiz, whether you want to conduct some live examination, it can be anything that can go within the interactive ebooks. So this is the next big thing they are saying. So even according to one of the person, so he was calling this particular digital ebook as a massive adaptive interactive book something. That was a name given in one of the TED talk related to using this particular digital ebooks in education. And then the next big thing is gamification in education. This is already happening. Don't think that in the near future only we are going to see some of the things related to gamification. No, it's already happening. For example, even in previous TED Talk video also, I mean in Anand Agarwal video also, he just explained something about how they are using the gamification concept in terms of drawing some of the circuit diagrams and so on. So similarly, for whatever may be the concepts you are doing, so everywhere we can also straight away incorporate this gamification, because there are so many free tools and then platforms are available in the internet, platforms, so you can also make use of that. So have you heard about something called Nearpod? Have you heard about this particular tool called Nearpod? So
Yes,
this is one of
we have.
the this is one of the small gamification tool. So with the help of this gamification tool, you can also embed your questions. I mean, when you want to conduct some quizzes, you can also embed your questions with a Nearpod surveys, and then they can also actually play a game. While playing the game, they'll be answering the questions basically. So through that way, you can also engage your learners. So through this way, you can also engage your learners. I'm not saying this is the only platform available for gamification. A lot of platforms are available. A lot of platforms are available in terms of understanding this gamification. So when you get a chance, I mean, to teach this Nearpod, at least I need another 30 minutes or 1 hour. So I'm not going in detail about any one of the tool. Here, I'm just giving some summary idea about different tools that is available in the internet platform. And then the last tool which I would like to show you here is artificial intelligence role in education. So how AI can, that is artificial intelligence can, support education, or how this can also redefine our education. So just look at this video. So it's a documentary sort of video, from Wall Street Journal site. So they did some documentary about how China is using artificial intelligence algorithm in terms of capturing the learner's attentiveness and other things. Just look at this video. Let me play this. Just give me a second. Just a 4 minutes video only.
红色是表示你的专注力显示的很高。
Teachers at this primary school in China
蓝色是走神了，
know exactly when someone isn't paying attention.
白色就是你可能跟网络还没有连接好。
These headbands measure each student's level of concentration. The information is then directly sent to the teacher's computer and to parents. China has big plans to become a global leader in artificial intelligence. It has enabled a cashless economy where people make purchases with their faces. A giant network of surveillance cameras with facial recognition helps police monitor citizens. Meanwhile, some schools offer glimpses of what the future of high-tech education in the country might look like.
Good job.
Classrooms have robots that analyze students' health and engagement levels. Students wear uniforms with chips that track their locations. There are even surveillance cameras that monitor how often students check their phones or yawn during classes. These gadgets have alarmed Chinese netizens. But schools say it wasn't hard for them getting parental consent to enroll kids into what is one of the world's largest experiments in AI education. A program that's supposed to boost students' grades while also feeding powerful algorithms.
为了就是国家的这个研究呀、发展呀，我觉得是没有问题的。
The government has poured billions of dollars into the project, bringing together tech giants, startups, and schools. We got exclusive access to a primary school a few hours outside of Shanghai. To see firsthand how AI tech is being used in the classroom. For this 5th grade class, the day begins with putting on a brain wave sensing gadget. Students then practice meditating.
现在想象我们眉心有一点柔和的光芒绽放。
The device is made in China and has 3 electrodes, 2 behind the ears and 1 on the forehead. These sensors pick up electrical signals sent by neurons in the brain. The neural data is then sent in real time to the teacher's computer. So while students are solving math problems, a teacher can quickly find out who's paying attention and who's not.
说明这段时间他是有点在那走神的。
A report is then generated that shows how well the class was paying attention. It even details each student's concentration level at 10-minute intervals. It's then sent to a chat group for parents.
就是他可以看到每个人的评分。
The reports are detailed, but whether these devices really work and what they exactly measure isn't as clear. We were curious if the headbands could actually measure concentration, so one of our reporters tried on the device.
This is a new technology with still fairly little research behind it.
Theodore Zanto is a neuroscientist at the University of California, San Francisco. He was surprised to learn that this tech, called electroencephalography, also known as EEG, is being used in the classroom on children. It's usually used by doctors in hospitals and labs.
EEG is very susceptible to artifacts. And so if you are itchy or just a little fidgety, or the EEG wasn't set properly so that the electrodes didn't have a good contact, affects the signal.
Despite the chances for false readings, teachers told us the headbands have forced students to become more disciplined.
上课回答我的问题，就是他们的声音会比平常更响亮。
Teachers say the students now pay better attention during class, and that has made them study harder and achieve higher scores.
上课认真听讲，作业做的基本上是全对的。
But not all students are as enthusiastic. This fifth grader, whom we caught dozing off in class, told us his parents punish him for low attention scores. And that kind of data adds a new kind of pressure for students.
想啊，如果在一次考试全班人都考了95分以上，对你考了一个85，你会不会感觉你有一种
Companies we interviewed said the data can go to government-funded research projects. We spoke to parents who were unclear about where the data ended up, and they didn't seem to care too much. Santos says there's likely no privacy protection at all.
In a classroom, if you're trying to make an assessment of an individual student, you really can't anonymize it.
Experts and citizens alike are sounding alarms about various aspects of the country's huge push into artificial intelligence. These classrooms are laboratories for future generations. And while these new tools may potentially help some 200 million students raise their grades, just how this all works out won't be apparent until they become adult citizens.
Yeah, I just muted myself. Yeah. So this is how the education sector is using some of the recently advanced technologies in terms of improving the learning outcomes of the students. So this is the one side of the story. Just look at this slide. This is the other side. So how we are going to reach our kids, those who are doing their schools or maybe higher education in some of the remote places where even they don't have the electricity, where they don't have not even mobile signal. So how we are going to address this problem? So with this note, I'm stopping my lecture. If you have any questions, you are feel free to make interaction through live chat or maybe through chat window. Because 1:30 I have another session for some other institute. Again, it's a AICT program. So between 1:15 to 1:30, I need to complete my lunch. Yeah. Any discussion points? Any inputs for future sessions, or maybe you're most welcome for any kind of comments.
Sir, I have one question. That too much dependency of student or a teacher on a technology may have the what you call the ignorance aptitude created, because what we have seen a China video that sometimes you're controlling, so they don't try to use their capacity to think. The same way, is it applicable when we use a technology? Too much dependence on technology may create students and the faculty little lethargic to go for little creative things in the organization.
No. People are claiming that gamification will simulate their learning process. At the same time, even that will also increase their, creativity level. That's what research evidences are saying. So it's not that technology is going to kill our creativity. No, that is not the case. There are limitations. There are other limitations that are available, but I'm not discussing all those points here. I'm just sharing my own thought process, my own in the sense based on some of the collective evidences. I'm proposing this. These are the technologies where that can solve personalized learning problem. I just picked only one of the problem, and I'm trying to provide the solution. At the same time, with respect to our Indian context, also there are certain problems which may not be solved properly. So that is also I'm trying to, show you at the end of the. I
Because
think the last slide
what
I
is
had
my
mentioned that.
observation and the hypothesis I drawn, that the millennial generation who are using more text and other thing, their language is many times distorted.
Yes, very true. Very true.
So
Very true.
somewhere I have seen it.
Even personally speaking, almost for the last 10 to 12 years, we have been using mobile phone for typing the content as well as laptop. In my case, since 2010, I'm using my personal computer. 2008 or 9 onwards, I'm using my personal computer. Now, if you ask me to write some of the complex vocabularies or maybe statements, I'm struggling actually.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
That
I
is
don't know
true.
about others.
That is what I was thinking. Because I have seen that even students are using the same language when they write a paper also. So they are not able to differentiate which language to be used in which context.
Yes. For example, when you type something in WhatsApp, it is also suggesting the words. So simply we are picking that. Over a period of time, even we are keep forgetting the spellings for certain complex words also. That is also happening. We are getting a lot of confusion over that. This is, happening with respect to my case. I don't know about others. You can also.
No, so many times it happens. Now, I personally feel that many times you depend on technology too much. It's difficult to revert back. And somewhere, I'm not saying it is ultimately, it is on an individual how you use it for your development and how much dependency you create in yourself. But still, somewhere, I feel it that use the technology till it won't overside you and your creativity get come.
Yes, very true. Very true. You are right, ma'am. Absolutely, you are right. Yeah. Any other discussion points or comments?
So there are certain comments in chat. You can see there are a few questions are in chat.
Yes. Can I know how we can implement for finance and accounts based paper through gamification? Yes, that is possible. Very much possible. So you can do that. There are some evidences are available in the literature. You can also look for it. Yes, that is possible. Very much possible. Everywhere we can implement gamification. So some of the real-time examples are, for example, in most of the IT companies now they are using gamification method in terms of assessing your attitude level. So they are creating some of the games. During the interview process, before the personal interview, they're handing over the tablet or maybe mobile sort of devices, and then they're asking the candidates to play certain videos. Before that, they're also giving some instruction. So based on that video performance, the video game performance, they're also assessing their personality or maybe their traits, personality traits, or maybe their attitude and so on. That is happening. And as far as the research evidences are concerned, everywhere we can apply this gamification method. But yes, the tools and techniques as well as the technology, yes, we need to wait for some more time in terms of integrating gamification or maybe virtual reality in our regular classroom practices. We need to wait for some more time with respect to Indian context, I'm saying. For example, if you consider this online teaching, 20 years ago, Harvard has started some of the online programs. But now we are talking about using Cisco WebEx or Zoom or Meet and so on. For example, the blended learning practices. I think 25 years ago, most of the US universities have implemented blended learning practices like flipping the classroom or maybe giving some of the pre-recorded video lecture videos or maybe some of the pre-readings before they come to the class. Everything was implemented and at least bare minimum 15 years before in US context. But now we are trying to learn all those content in 2020. So there is a gap actually. There is a gap, but slowly we are also evolving. Slowly we are also progressing, and maybe at one point of time we'll be able to get some self-sufficient technologies within ourselves, as well as probably we'll be able to achieve certain level of achievement. This is what my feeling. So, I mean, as a, teacher or maybe faculty members working in private or maybe government institutions, as much as possible, you try to flip your classroom with the help of some of the blended learning tools or maybe with the help of blended learning approaches. There are other techniques also available. I thought of sharing, but here we didn't have enough time. I'm just skipping that particular part. So currently, due to COVID situation, most of the institutions are online for their classes. Do you feel that the current online education technology, what we are using, is succeeded in our context? Personally, the feedback from my own class student, based on that evidence, I'm sharing this experience. Even they were not happy with the class. Even I'm also not happy with the way how the classes are happening through online mode. Except only one student, rest of them are saying, no, we are liking only offline mode of teaching. We are not liking online mode of teaching. So now through, in online mode also, I'm trying to blend the classroom. So now what I'm doing is we have a open edX platform in our university. We are using this particular platform as a what you call the learning management system basically. So we call it as LearnX basically. So with the help of this particular platform, now we are trying to do some more thing. We are trying to create some more activities and other things. And with the help of this, somehow I could able to share the videos and other things on prior basis. And then during the class, we are discussing only application related activities. Suppose if I'm taking 40 hours for completing a course, means now I'm trying to take only 25 or 20 live sessions. Rest of the things are happening before the class or after the class in the form of summative or formative assessments or in the form of pre-recorded lectures. That's how we are managing in our university with respect to my course. I don't know about others. I don't want to make any comments about other courses or maybe other experiences. So this is a way how I'm trying to bring some changes. But according to Jagdish Sheth, Professor Jagdish Sheth, so he was saying that within next 20 years in US context, he was saying this. So within next 20 years, top 10 or top 15 universities will grab the entire market share of US institutions, and even that can be expanded to, towards other countries also by offering some of the online programs and so on. Let us assume that if Harvard is going to offer an online degree program, now itself they have started and already it is happening, but bit costlier one. Suppose with the help of collaboration with one of the Indian university, if they are going to offer some online 2-year MBA program, means which one you will be preferring? Whether you want to do some program in XYZ university or institution, or you want to do it at some IIT background with Harvard. So definitely people will be preferring that only. Even one of the recent example is this IIT Madras BBA degree course on data science. So that is also another example. So maybe in future we are going to see a lot of changes, and again, moreover, global level institutions are going to start their campuses in India. That is also another challenge. So I don't know how we are going to address all those challenges as a faculty, but these are all the things that is going to happen in the near future. Yeah, with this, I'm completing my session. I have hardly 6 minutes to complete my lunch. Thank you so much. If there are no questions, shall I leave?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You can leave. No issues, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Jagan. Thanks to Professor Tamil Selvan, sir. So he's like my big brother. So thank you so much, all the participants, for your wonderful interaction. So we'll meet again, maybe in some other forum. Thank you.